In this video, we're gonna do something that I don't think has been attempted before. One of the biggest challenges of my life, and that is to turn the Pontiac Aztek into a two-door sports car. I'm not sure how we're gonna do it, but I'm gonna attempt to do it no matter what. Even if the end result looks like crap, I'm still gonna get it done. You know, this Pontiac Aztek is considered one of the ugliest cars in the world. It's just on every single list. If we just Google ugliest car in the world, and let's see what comes up here. What is the ugliest American car ever made? We have the AMC Eagle Wagon, PT Cruiser convertible. Yes, I would probably agree with that. And then third place, we have the Pontiac Aztek right here. Mercury Zephyr. Let's have a look at this AMC Eagle Wagon. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. If that's number one, this doesn't look ugly to me. This looks sweet. It's like a lifted wagon from the 70s. I wonder if it came lifted from the factory. It looks like it because this looks like a press photo. And we have this, look at how happy this kid is for having his AMC Eagle Wagon 4x4. This looks like, you know, the 70s equivalent of SUV coupes, I guess. This looks cool. I really like this car. I don't know why it's number one. It's definitely not uglier than the Pontiac Aztek, that's for sure. I mean, just look at this thing. I'm not sure who approved this design in the design phase. Having this interesting complexion in the front end and looking at this and saying, yes, that's exactly what we want. Oh, look at this. We do have a sports car, or a wagon at least, lowered. This is something similar to what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna make it two-door and also work a little bit more on the proportions and the wheelbase. But this looks pretty sick. I really like this. I don't know who did it, but it looks really, really cool. You have this tent. It came with the Aztek. I mean, the Aztek, it's such a... the design of the Aztek is so ugly that it becomes cool, if that makes sense. It becomes legendary just because it is so ugly. So let's have a look at what's actually going on in this design. So we have the shoulder line right here, and as you can see, the shoulder line kind of goes from just being a crease in the body and then going into this dip. So we have a cut right in the middle of the body and then going back to a normal just edge in the surface. And look at these fenders, the rear fenders sitting super low. This is super tight. It feels very narrow, this surface. And we have a different style in the front end with a different radius here than we have down here. And then of course we have the greenhouse, which is, you know, if you can just look at this surface of the car, this area of the car, and you know instantly that this is a Pontiac Aztek just by looking at this quarter window back here, which has a very interesting outline to it as well. And then we have this trim piece right here going across the entire car. You can see they had to make this big cut in the trim piece just to be able to open this door so that it doesn't clash with this piece. And it kind of makes for an interesting cut line right here, or chamfer, or whatever that is down there. And last but not least, I mean, the front end of this thing just looks, if you want to talk overstyled, this is the definition of a bad overstyling, because we have two grills. One grill up here, then we have a second, the typical Pontiac grill down here, with two completely different pieces of graphic design with these headlights and the indicator that has zero connection to each other. And then of course the big plastic pieces that go all around the Aztek all the way to the back, sticking out, pulling the rear down to the ground with this corner down here. A super interesting design. I would like to have been a fly on the wall in the design department when they designed this car and just listen to their arguments. What was the reason for approving this design, and did they actually think it looked good? I think they wanted to create something so futuristic that it kinda went a little overboard with the styling. That's my guess of how the discussions in the design studios went when they were designing this car. So what exactly am I gonna do here? Yes, we're gonna turn this into a sports car. We're gonna have to definitely work on the wheels because this feels like it's about to fall over with these tiny wheels and the big mass on top of this structure. And then of course you're gonna have to cut it somewhere around here and move it way down, also move the entire body down so we have a lower center of gravity and a lower ride height overall. Change out the wheels, remove this door right here, so we have a 2-door, and maybe have it look like almost like a Porsche 928 with this rear window. I think that's what it's gonna look like. And on top of that, this A-pillar needs to move back somewhere here to this point and create more of a coupe style design of this Pontiac Aztek. So let's continue here in Photoshop and let's see how this beast is going to turn out. So the Pontiac Aztek was a mid-size crossover SUV produced by GM under the Pontiac brand from 2001 to 2005. The Aztek was designed as a sport recreational vehicle with features such as built-in tent and a removable cooler. The Aztek's development began in the mid-1990s as a partnership between GM's Pontiac division and the company's design center in Warren, Michigan, and the goal was to create a vehicle that could appeal to active outdoorsy buyers and provide a new kind of driving experience. The design team, led by John C. Larson, began sketching out a number of different concepts, including a traditional SUV and a more futuristic car-like vehicle. Eventually, they settled on a design that combined both of these elements with a raised ride height and rugged off-road capabilities, but also with smooth aerodynamic lines and sleek modern look. The Aztek's exterior design was notable for its sharp angular lines and unusual front fascia, to say the least, which featured a large plastic grille and aggressive headlights. The vehicle also had a unique double bubble roof, which was intended to improve aerodynamics and provide more headroom for the rear passengers. The Aztek's interior was also designed to be versatile and functional with a number of unique features that set it apart from other SUVs on the market. These included a built-in tent, as I said before, that could be set up in the cargo area, as well as this removable cooler that could be used for camping or picnics. Aztek was also designed with a number of advanced technology features, including a rear seat entertainment system, a navigation system, and a rear view camera, which was very unusual of the time. Additionally, the Aztek was one of the first vehicles to offer GM's OnStar communications and navigation system, which provided drivers with real-time traffic updates and other information. And despite its unique design and innovative features, the Aztek was not well received by consumers. Many criticized its unusual appearance and criticized the Aztek for its low fuel economy and poor handling and the ride quality. Production of the Aztek ended in 2005 and the vehicle has become something of a cult classic. So in other words, Pontiac gave it a shot to create a modern, sleek looking SUV. It wasn't really well received by the public. So what are we gonna do here in this redesign to turn it into a sports car? First of all, of course, we need to lower the ride height, the overall height of the vehicle, and then we need to remove the rear doors. That's gonna create some problems for the cut lines, so we need to create new cut lines for the doors and also a new side area. The entire greenhouse needs to be completely redesigned, and also move back the A-pillar, because the A-pillar on the Aztek sits way too far in front and doesn't feel like a sleek sports car. So that's another thing we have to work on. I kind of think that these front end graphics could actually work as a sports car. We just need to make it sleeker, so lower it, squish it together a little bit, and stretch it out further back on the hood. I think that would make for a pretty cool looking Aztek sports car. The thing is, I want to keep the main features of the Aztek, so there's no mistaking this for anything else than it's based on an Aztek. It's an Aztek sports car. That means keeping the same graphics in the rear as we have in the front, and keeping the side graphics as well, and these super weird fenders that we have over the front axle and the rear axle as well. I want to keep those. And honestly, the end result, I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, the Aztek by itself is already a cool car because it's so unique and special, and having those same graphics onto a proportion that is a sports car, in my opinion, it kinda works. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.